Good morning, everybody. It is yet another season of VBL-S, season 19 to be exact, which I can't believe that we're almost we'll hit 20 this year, which is kind of nuts. I first joined back in season 6, which was slightly over 4 years ago, so time really flies, I suppose, and yet I'm still dog shit at the game. So we'll see. we'll see how this season goes. But yeah, we're doing regulation MA in champions. So the draft board was pretty strange. Probably one of the stranger boards I've seen, if not the strangest, at least in my opinion, just because it was all fully evolved Pokemon minus Pikachu. So like every team, as you can see here, is like even the low tier mons are all still fully evolved. So in my opinion, I think everything essentially on the draft board is bringable at some point for some specific purpose. At least in terms of like what people drafted. Like obviously there are probably some mons that I could draft on my team that would never get brought just because other mons on my team do it better. But as far as like what was available in the whole format, I think everything is technically bringable. It's just like matchup dependent, team dependent, and honestly even playstyle dependent to a certain extent. So, but anyway, week 1 we are playing Prime Sparks. So they've built themselves a they've definitely built themselves a Garchomp team here. You can see immune to ground, immune to ground, immune to ground. So this team is definitely gonna be clicking Earthquake for sure. Obviously, like depending on the matchup and which mons you want to bring, like you might not run Earthquake on Garchomp, but I don't know. On this team specifically, it feels like Rotom Wash feels like it's a pretty like a staple mon that will almost always be there. Sylveon feels like it'll almost always be there, and Garchomp will like almost always be there. So. And you can obviously like flex, in my opinion, like all of the 3 other slots could be flexed fairly reliably. If you like really want to go with Earthquake spam, you could just throw Gliscor on the team, and then you have like, you could Earthquake next to it, and then this thing can also click Earthquake on its own next to a different mon. So like Garchomp faints, you bring this in, your Earthquake next to your ground of mons. So there's a lot of ways you could click Earthquake with this team, which, you know, in most formats, ground is really nice offensively just because it's a good offensive type in general. So, and that stays true in this format where ground types are going to be clicking ground moves and they're going to be doing pretty well with it. So, yeah, this team has a lot of very good mons onto it. So, or on it, I should say. So, like, I mean, kind of like I was saying, like, even if you were to, you know, like these back 5 are like obviously like the lower point, or the lower value mons, I should say. But even these are still good, right? Like these are mons that you would like to have on your team for specific purposes. Like Avila gets Wide Guard, Superior has Contrary, so like if you have a good Leaf Storm matchup, I don't think there are going to be a lot of teams that are overall weak to grass, just, you know, based on the nature of like how draft teams are typically built and how unfortunate grass is as an offensive typing. But like, as a threat, it'll still become very threatening if you let it just sit there and click Leaf Storm like 2 times. It'll already be at +4. So plus it's really fast and has access to Glare. Any form of speed control in this format is going to be really nice to have, particularly because there's so few good Tailwind users. So I mean, glaring is just permanent Tailwind just on your opponent's mon. The downside being is if they have like a Lumberry or a Cherry Berry or something, or if they have an ability like Limber, they can be immune to paralysis, so they can't actually get paralyzed. Or they can still get an attack off and remove Superior before the paralysis actually sticks. But yeah, this feels like a good like Trick Room mode. This team has like a nice balance of speed, both on the top end and on the low end. Like of all these mons, like the slowest mon here is going to be Sylveon, just because it's the most consistently brought mon is going to be Sylveon, and Sylveon can work in Trick Room or without it, just because its 60 base speed is kind of flexible in that way. Slowbro Galar is your Trick Room setter. This is a pretty solid mon overall. I think it's a good pick, particularly like as a last round pick. Ending up with Slowbro G feels pretty good to me. So this team definitely has the ability to either go fast with Tailwind Gliscor, or even like Scarf Rotom with Electroweb, or set Trick Room with Slowbro Galar too. So and then you have like your dual megas. A lot of teams are gonna have 2 to 3 megas on them. Mega Heracross is a pretty cool pickup, just as like a lower cost mega that has like insane. Was it like 185? Yeah, 185. That's a lot of damage. This thing's putting out some damage. But yeah, I don't know. I think this team is very cool, very well built. I think if I were to like, I don't know, everyone did like their tier lists. I wasn't able to make it onto the olds this year. That's becoming more common, I think, as I get older, unfortunately, just due to scheduling and stuff. But this team is like a really well structured and thought out team, in my opinion. That being said, it was difficult to prep for, so I guess it makes sense. But I feel like most teams are going to be difficult to prep for, particularly because you have to, I don't know, account for what your opponents are going to bring. And every opponent in this, league is smart, so it's always a challenge. But as far as like what I think is gonna show up this week, I think these 4 are like an extremely strong core to have. So I'm definitely expecting these 4. But honestly, like when I was prepping for the team, I kind of fixated on the top 6. Mostly because Garchomp and Gliscor are both weak to ice. And as you can see on my screen here, I'm bringing 2 ice types. My only 2 ice types. The matchup for them just feels pretty good. Frostlass is like good speed control. And Aurorus is like less of a... Aurorus is not going to be like my main pick for what I bring into the actual match. But it is nice to have just for Blizzard spam and stuff. And like a defense boost on Frostlass. Obviously, like Ice is not great into Mega Delphox or Rotom or Orthworm, but I feel like Icy Wind is like good speed control into a lot of these mons, particularly with Scarf, and like Poltergeist threatens to knock out Mega Delphox, like Triple Axle knocks out Garchomp. So some of the core threats that are on this team are threatened pretty heavily by Frostlass, and then Charizard can handle the others, basically. Like Orthworm gets deleted, Zoroark gets deleted, Mega Delphox doesn't get deleted depending on the bulk. I'm pretty sure most of the time it will survive a Dragon Claw, even with like minimal investment. But like Zard is not threatened by Mega Delphox, and if like I don't know, if I KO a Garchomp or whatever, Mega Delphox is alive, and then Frostlass gets KO'd by Mega Delphox, but I take out Garchomp, I feel like I'm feeling okay. But again, this all, is in theory and remains to be seen in the actual match. So, which, typically plays out quite differently than I imagine when I prep. So, who knows what'll happen. But yeah, I'm expecting the top 6. I feel like Zoroark is really good into my team just because it can blend into like it blends in well as like Orthworm or Mega Delphox specifically. Just because like you want to be clicking ghost moves into Mega Delphox or fighting moves into Orthworm. So, and this thing is immune to both of them. So it's, I don't know, I feel like this would be a very clever bring. Plus it's like good speed control with Icy Wind and stuff, because Mega Delphox doesn't really have a form of supporting the team with speed control. It's just fast on its own, and then the rest of this team is like Garchomp is the next fastest mon after Zoroark. So Zoroark being like a pretty good speed tier into my team, I feel like is a good, I mean, it ties 2 of my mons, but I'm not bringing Lycanroc this week. So, yeah, I think this matchup's going to come down to, and I mean, a lot of matchups come down to this, but this matchup I think is going to come down to who's clicking buttons first a lot of the time. If Prime Sparks is clicking their moves first most of the time, I'm probably just going to lose because... Garchomp, Sylveon, like these mons are just dishing out like huge damage. So, and if they're hitting me first and I can't KO them, then it's gonna be a rough one for me. So, yeah, this one's the goal is to is to outspeed and either delete something or create some form of speed control with Frostlass, and then let like Zard kind of go ham. So, but yeah, these are the 6 that I prepped for. The rest of these I feel like are kind of covered by what my team built to handle these 6. I did not really prep around like them setting Trick Room, so I mean they could set Trick Room in the face of my mons, but you know that could situationally be good for me depending on what mons I have on the field. But I don't think I have. I think if Sylveon goes minus speed nature like Quiet or something, it will underspeed everything on my team, which is not great. But I don't know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, very cool team, and we're gonna dive here into the match in a few seconds. Yeah, this is okay, 5 of the 6. I really did expect Hisui and Zoroark just because it would have messed with my team really effectively, I think. But I understand why you would want to bring Slowbro just for Trick Room stuff. I did not bring my Trick Room setter, so you could, in theory, if you have like, if you're running like min speed on like Sylveon and Orthworm, you will underspeed my team. So that could be a pretty smart decision if they decide to run that. And I did not really do any calcs into Slowbro G, so we would have to be winging that on the fly. Yeah, I didn't really bring much of an answer to Slowbro G, huh? Interesting. This to me feels like Scarf Electroweb then. I think I do just want to Scarf Icy Wind, Mega Evolve, and Flare Blitz. Depending on how bulky the Sylveon is, how often am I killing based on my notes? 32 HP, 4 defense. I have a 25% chance to OHKO, but that's without the Icy Wind damage. But I think I would just want to get rid of them, so we'll see. Yeah, that's pretty bulky, so Burn's lucky though. Yeah, see ya. That's a lot of damage. Alright, well now I know that they're pretty bulky. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I just lose to Scarf Rotom now, so. Because this thing's gonna continue Electrowebbing. I mean, I guess based on speed order, it could not be Scarf, but it's probably Scarf based on the lead there. Yeah, I don't have a good way of handling these two now, unfortunately, so it's, I don't know, Tailwind, probably like Moonblast or something. I mean, I'm torched regardless, so. Yeah, and then this thing's gonna bring me down to sturdy, makes sense. At least now I know that the Sylveon's bulky enough to tank it. Goodbye, Skarmory. I mean, I still can't win from this position. Yeah, Garchomp and back. Good to know. Goodbye, Clefable. Sneasler, Skarm, Zard and back, then Frostlass, perhaps? That seems acceptable. Let's try that. You switched it up, I see. I mean, definitely gonna fake out here, that's for sure. I'm gonna fake out you and Tailwind, I think. Yeah. Ah, nuts. That's a good play. I should have thought about that, because now I'm just going to die to a Psychic and not get any, Oh, I'm not! Oh, it's Heat Wave. Okay. It's probably something like that, and probably Protect. Let Sneasler go down. That's good damage. I should not have let that thing sub. I think that was a mistake. I think I'm bringing Zard here. I could Mega Evolve and D-Dance. That doesn't seem like a great idea. I want to protect this turn and Brave Bird into the Delphox. Goodbye, Skarmory. Yeah, that covers for a dragon attack. That makes sense. And now in this position, if you're going to double protect, I want to D-Dance for sure. But this thing could also just click a move. I think I do this. Show me double protect. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, okay. And now Flare Blitz will threaten a KO onto Garchomp if it switches in. So I Flare Blitz this slot and I Poltergeist this slot. And just hope that Poltergeist hits. If not, ah well. I can't really do anything about that. Also, if for some reason it's actually Scarf Garchomp, then this could be interesting. Just declaw this and Poltergeist. Yeah, this makes sense because you want to lower my speed again. That's a lot of damage. Electroweb makes sense. I don't actually know if... I mean, you know I'm Scarf now. So it's still just declaw this because Frostlass was still outspeed. I just need to hit my Poltergeist. Protect, okay. Double protect. Zara Frostlass again? It's hard to swap it up because it feels like Clefable's just useless with all the spread moves here. I think I just fake out Tailwind again. This could protect though. Yeah, I should have coachinged. Coaching would have been like such a sick play there. I have Unburden though, which is nice. Because now I actually can coaching. Coaching's kind of cool, but like, does that... That should threaten the Delphox. Am I crazy? I'm gonna coaching into Skarmory and... Brave Bird. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's pretty bulky. Oh, that's so bad. That's a pretty bulky Delphox. That's so unfortunate. I can't believe it lived that. I mean, I calced it with 15 HP. Could be higher, though. That is highly unfortunate. I think I need to declaw this slot and triple Axel this slot. Eh, okay. Not great damage. Only 2 hits too, which is unfortunate. What comes in here? Sylveon. Last turn a Tailwind. If I think this thing is Scarf, this will protect, this will Electroweb, right? I think in that case, I think I have to D-Dance. I think it's D-Dance, triple Axel into... I think I need more damage on the Rotom. Oh, that's unfortunate. And this didn't protect, which is not great. Electroweb. Does Charizard live a Hyper Voice? If not, I lose. I do, okay. Electroweb at neutral speed. I mean, I don't know how I win this now. This is just like... Wow, actually, no, this was disabled. Oh yeah, I was forced to use Curse Body, by the way, because Showdown does not let me use Snow Cloak. So we might have to look into that, I suppose, because I think the evasion abilities should be allowed. This is a tough spot because I can ignore this for now, but you can swap it out. And this can either protect... I like have to swing into this. I think I lose regardless, actually. I'm gonna D-dance like a psycho. Yeah, it's over. Oh, it's not even scarfed. Okay, well, yeah, I couldn't win then. Yeah, close set overall. Very fun. I'm glad I could bring it to a game 3. This team was very hard to prep for. And like the maneuvering that they did to get around, you know, my speed control and whatever, my limited speed control that is, was very effective on their end in securing the dub. Also, the Delphox surviving the +1 Brave Bird from Skarmory is very unfortunate. It's because that probably would have changed the tide of the whole battle if I was able to get that KO. But GG's Prime Sparks. That was a good first set in this season, and we'll see what the rest of the. Well, I know Jordan's already played, but yeah, who played in that? I think it was Jordan Camo that played already. Pretty sure. What's the schedule looking like? Jordan Camo, yeah, they were the first to play in our division, but we are the second. But yeah, great set, very fun. Good luck with the rest of your season, and I'll see you next week. See you.